first documentary that I have on my list. And of course, it's still a Michael J. Fox movie on Apple TV Plus. I was like, I mean, kind of the way I think, Brian. I hope this isn't too terrible. I like Master Gardener still. Which way? You know, I could put them side by side. Oh, wait a second. That's on Apple TV Plus. I'll definitely watch that. There is a star, television to film, from Canada originally, that I kind of grew up with in a way. Maybe not from my teens, like Family Ties, sort of thought, I wonder how he's doing. And every now and then you see him do something in pop culture, and I feel good about it. I'm not much into celebrity worship or being that interested in how celebrities live, but Michael J. Fox, I make an exception in hearing about his life and how he has lived through what is a terrible degenerative disease. I want to see this. I want to see this flick, and it's on Apple TV Plus. And Apple TV Plus recently gave me a great 3-month deal to stick around. So I'm like,
this is also on my list. I love Michael J. Fox. There's just sort of, yeah, he's the good-looking actor, but there is sort of the Marty McFly everyman thing about him, the Alex P. Keaton, if you will. Even some of his, I don't want to say lesser movies, but the less well-known movies in his filmography, Secret of My Success and films of that ilk, he's able to play drama really well, but comedy, light comedy, romantic comedies is really his wheelhouse. And as you said, he goes from TV to movies in a way that really Hollywood didn't do up until Kiefer Sutherland did 24, 10, 15 years ago. When you think about a guy who made the decision to go public with his illness, when someone makes that kind of decision, yeah, of course they're going to get the sympathy, oh, he's so brave sort of thing. But that could have been career suicide for someone who has to perform for the camera and travel and promote films, everything along those lines.
Who's going to hire him?
Yeah, exactly. And he has
big asterisk, to any producer thinking of him,
Yeah, and when you have a wife and when you have kids to support, going public, even as a celebrity who's made money over the years, going public like that is a huge risk to your career. So, in addition to the stress of dealing with health problems of that magnitude, so I am curious to see a lot of this behind-the-scenes interviews and all of the thought process that went into him going public. This is Michael J. Fox. It is a documentary. It is interviews with him over the years, behind-the-scenes shots of Back to the Future. And it is him talking about dealing with Parkinson's and when to go public. And this is the kind of discussion that I don't really think that we get very often with public figures that are this famous, that are looking back at a decision that we all know that he made, but we're getting a lot of insight and into why that decision was made and how that decision was made, especially as a father with a wife and young children. This is not an easy decision to make, especially with having to still work and support a family. It would be cynical to say, oh, well, we all knew that he would get all this sympathy and his sitcom wouldn't have been canceled and he would still work. You don't really know that, especially with a disease as progressive as Parkinson's can be. Thankfully, he has had good medication, all the best that money and fame can buy. But this is still something that'll be interesting to watch as far as behind the scenes, seeing the human side of Michael J. Fox sort of bearing all, in terms of emotionally bearing all, to tell his story. So, yeah. Still a Michael J. Fox movie. Interesting title, but I love Michael J. Fox, and that is my number 5 movie. It's also on your list.
It is. Not as high as it is on yours, or is it at the same level, actually? Oh, we're like...
I'm at number 5.
Yeah. I wanted to see Nazi gold.
You wanted to see Nazi gold more than a fellow Canadian?
More than how would John Campea say it? A good Canadian boy.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, apparently I want to see people fighting over Nazi gold.
Yes. So this is it's a feel
Like a
good
Simpsons movie.
Yeah.
Let's take a Simpsons episode and turn it into a serious genre flick. Anyway,
honestly, it sounds more like a South Park kind of flick. But this is also one that's coming out May 12th, so lots of good stuff to watch in May.